Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast episode 668. I'm one of the hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinside,
Why, hello.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 668 of the Moviecast. We are live on Twitch starting Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. We are on here. Join us live for these conversations. We'd love to hear from you guys. Ask us questions on the air. If you missed these live broadcasts, we are on YouTube the following day, so always subscribe to both channels. That way you get notified when we go live. Get the latest and greatest. So, all right, guys, how's the week been?
It just started. It's Tuesday.
I know it feels like it's been a long week already. I meant like how's the week been since the last podcast?
Gotcha.
It's been a week in between podcasts. So,
What's happened?
yeah, I don't know. What have you been watching? I've been watching stuff. Anybody watch that Ahsoka finale?
Oh, that was a finale?
I don't know. Is it a finale? I don't know. Listen,
I haven't caught up yet, so I don't know anything.
I would say the biggest defender of the Ahsoka series on this podcast, I would say, I don't want to put words in other people's mouth, but I think I've been more defensive of what the episodes were. I have no defense for this episode. I thought it got very good reviews, like good scores, but I was like, this is not a finale. This is a terrible idea to end a show this way because there's no green light for second season yet. They didn't give us any information as to what the fuck was going on. If you didn't watch Rebels or
Are
Clone
we just
Wars,
gonna go into spoilers here, or?
no, I'm just saying, like, there's no spoilers here.
Oh, I'm just asking. You wanna
So I'm just
spoil it up? Spoil
no,
it
I
up.
don't. I don't need to spoil this thing to complain. I just my biggest gripes. I posted on our Discord. I said this was not a finale. I hate when they do things like this. This seemed like a mid-season finale more than anything. I mean, same vibe, Tony, right? Mid-season.
Yeah, sure.
If you're going to give it that, it felt like another episode, really. They didn't seem to have any urgency. I felt that what we know of certain characters, villains that, for that matter, that are imposing and grand, wasn't quite so. It was more about just, I don't know, stalling and I don't know. I didn't like the strategies, and I also didn't like the way some of the characters ended up. I felt like there was robbed moments of things you wanted to see from liking characters, and there was also then too much of a cliffhanger for, like I said, a show that doesn't have a second season ordered yet. I think this was if you don't get a second season, this is a horrible show if it does not get a second season. Am I wrong in saying that?
I mean, I think it's a horrible season. If this is the only Ahsoka we ever get, yeah, it's a horrible show. Like that's what I said after the first episode. I was like, I mean, it's kind of nice seeing some of the characters in live action, but the whole time I'm thinking, did I really want this? Because I don't know what they're answering here. Like after so many years, right, of nothing, it's like I kind of don't want you to do this because I'm fine with where the characters ended, and I'm happy with that. You know,
this really felt like Dave Filoni's been approved to do his Heir to the Empire movie, and this feels like more of a side piece building to a movie. That's what I got.
That's what I said. Like they're all just building up to a fucking Star Avengers piece of shit thing. It's like, oh, we're gonna have Mando, we're gonna have Boba Fett, we're gonna have Ahsoka. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, they already had all that.
That is it.
Huh?
They even had Luke.
I know, dude. I hate this.
Well,
it's stupid. It's awful.
So, like, I don't know. I think as far as because I only watched episode 6. That's where I'm at. So I haven't seen 7 or 8. But from what I've seen and like from what I like want from the story, kind of like how I felt about Ragnarok and Thor, is like I'm not getting my Planet Hulk, my World War Hulk that I wanted. I'm getting this mashup of something, which, you know, to be fair, Ragnarok was great and it was a good movie, but now you're just kind of butchering this great story and making it fit into something that it's not supposed to fit in anymore because it's not the same thing. And so it just sounds like this. If this was like if the Heir to Empire was greenlit and already in production and going for, then maybe it sounds like this would have been a better season because you knew what was coming and you know, like, oh, we're looking forward to this thing because hey. It's
where they end
movies and
yeah, but you can't start a movie the way the show ended. Like there's no way to start a movie like this. So it just seemed like it didn't You know what it did remind me of? I think I've said this on the other episodes. It reminded me of early Clone Wars, where it just seemed like it was going. It was not very like. There wasn't like a big story. It was kind of like, oh, we're gonna do these little like bits and pieces, and then it didn't. It seemed like it was very much like the first season of Clone Wars, where I was just like, you can skip it pretty easily. That's what this felt like. Hopefully, season 2 is great if they get it greenlit.
No, I don't want any more. I just don't want any more.
I do. I'm still holding out hope.
What do you want to happen, Jim? Let me just ask you that. What do you want Ahsoka to do?
Yeah, I do want my heir to the Empire I want Luke, I want Ahsoka. I do want that Avengers movie. I do. But I want more of like what we get from want more from Ahsoka, like the character, like growth. There was nothing in this show whatsoever that grew this character. There's nothing.
I mean, I guess there was. It was just bad.
Yeah, the only one thing. But like at the end, it didn't seem like it changed. Nothing changed at the ending. Like that's the problem I have with it. And then my biggest gripe with what this is, and I liked a lot of the characters in this. Don't get me wrong. My biggest gripe is there wasn't enough explanation of what the hell was going on in the show if you never watched anything Dave Filoni has done. And the argument is, well, why are you watching the show? There are a lot of Star Wars fans nowadays, thanks to Mandalorian, that are new, that are like catching up on these shows. There's no chance they understand what is going on, because I had no idea. I'm like, what are these, minor spoilers here, what are these statues at the end of this show? I don't know what this means. And I had to look it up online. I'm like, everybody's like, oh, it's incredible. I'm like, I didn't know it missed for me. I don't remember that. It's been so many years since I've seen Clone Wars. How am I supposed to remember something from 2008 or whenever season 3 aired from Clone Wars? It's like, how am I supposed to remember that? So it's just kind of like, if you're a super mega fan, great show, I'm sure, and that's probably why I got good scores, but not for me.
So you guys are the biggest fans of this show I even know. So
yeah.
Who's a fan? I've been ridiculing it every episode, every fucking week.
The whole Clone Wars thing.
Mike,
Clone Wars is great.
Mike, if you want to check,
you guys are the biggest fans of the Clone Wars and this character that I know. Yeah, if this show didn't hit for you guys, who's it hitting for?
Yeah, I mean, Mike, honestly, a show you should watch if you want to watch Star Wars and if you haven't seen it yet, watch Andor. You will like. I promise you. You will like Andor. No, roll your eyes. You will like Andor. It's a good show. It deserves more viewership. Yeah. I promise you. Check it out. Please watch it. I would love to hear some feedback how you take it as a new Star, like something fresh.
New Star Wars fan.
You're a new Star Wars fan. You would be. I watched Castlevania. I didn't finish Nocturne yet because today got crazy. So I'm halfway through the show. Is there 8 episodes?
8 episodes.
So I'm done with 4. Okay, so I'm halfway through. Mm-hmm. So it's very awesome. It's very cool. I do like Trevor better myself, but that's just my own personal preference from what I've seen in these 2 shows.
Yeah, Richter's a little younger. He's still trying to, come into his own.
Yeah, there's not that Trevor swagger, I guess.
He doesn't have the swagger, and that's fine. I get they want to grow. It's just, for me, it was a little awkward seeing that because I'm like used to adult Richter, and it's like, oh, that's not how this is. But okay,
yeah. No, I thought it was. It's been very good so far. The animation's incredible, and it's impressive what they've done with Netflix animation on this stuff. It's so cool. So I really like that. But
season 2
other than that,
getting into the news, but
yes, that's it. Season 2 is confirmed. There's a show that you can confirm a season right after it comes out. Would be awesome to do, by the way, Disney.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're raising your price. Especially if you're raising your prices.
It's on Netflix, right?
I know. I said.
Oh, that's weird.
It's I know. I said it's not Disney. You should take some notes. Take some notes, Disney. Don't raise your prices by double almost, and not give us any information on new stuff. So
I don't want to get into Disney right now. But
yeah, no.
Did you see that? Like there was a weird. Yeah. No. Did we put it on the news? Yeah. Okay. Oh, the game. Yeah. Oh, it felt weird because there was a double dose of news today that came out, but there's this thing that was like, oh, Bob Iger's, sad, and it's like the state of Disney's worse than he thought. It's like, well, yeah, no fucking shit, dude. Like, Chapek just fucking ran that company into the ground while you were gone.
Yeah, there's a lot of stupid expenses. Some of these shows, I can't understand the budgets. I just don't. Sorry, just moving my ice pack. Hurt my back today, so that's fun too. Getting old. Yeah, so I have an ice pack while I'm doing the podcast. Yeah, so that's it for me, really, of note. So, Corey, what have you been watching? Anything good?
I watched the finale of Wheel of Time,
good.
Season 2, and that's a show that definitely turned it around for me. Like
really, because I remember you hated the first season.
Yeah,
I hated season 1. Season 1 was awful. It was the worst. But then, and I didn't start watching season 2 until like episode 6 came out. There's 8 episodes of this also, because I was like, oh, I'm done. I don't want to do it. But then everybody that like knows I'm a fan that was like saying, oh, it's actually good if you just separate it from the book. Like think of it as a story with like based on the Wheel of Time, not the Wheel of Time recreated in TV and stuff. And so when you like take it as that and take it as its own thing, you can really, I think it's just a good show overall. And the finale, like they do take things from the books that I was like, really excited to see, and some of those things like they nailed it. Like I was like, oh, this is so good. Like really, there's a moment where one character is like in a situation where it's like there's no way out, and their captor, you could say, they're like, I'm gonna kill you someday, whatever. And then there's like just a payoff for that. It's just so cool. And then there's like some weird like they mash characters together, and how they do in TV shows and stuff, where some characters in the book they just kind of cut them out, so they kind of take a character and make them the same. So some of that, which is fine, it's a little weird, but again, if you just take it for what it is, I think they did a really good job, and I'm very excited to see what they do with season 3, which apparently wasn't supposed to be. It's not going to be coming out until 2025 at this point, with all the delays and all that garbage. So
it's
gonna be a long wait. So hopefully they can speed that up. But they did a great job with season 2, and I highly recommend. If you're a fan of fantasy, it's a really good show if you can get past season 1.
Okay.
But yeah, season 2, great. I highly recommend. And yeah, some of the political stuff with the Forsaken and stuff is pretty neat. So yeah, excited for what's to come.
Cool. Yeah, I have to check it out. I was a big fan of that book series. I do owe it to myself to watch more of this now that you're saying this. But
yeah,
I remember
like book 3, like which is the Dragon Reborn. They're gonna basically just like cut
Dragon Reborn was book 2, wasn't it?
No, the Great Hunt's book 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that book.
Great Hunt.
Yeah.
This whole season 2.
Yeah.
So the season 3 is going to be a mashup of book 3 and 4.
Okay.
And because there's not much in book 3 that they wanted to use apparently. So it's good because.
So wait, let me ask you a question.
Long-winded.
Because we had just talked about with Star Wars, and then you made the Thor Ragnarok comparison. So since you're saying if you view this Wheel of Time season as an adaptation of the Wheel of Time, like why is that, like, I guess more acceptable to you, or like
what I was saying, like it's not like with Ragnarok, I said admittedly it was better than I expected, and it came out well. And,
all right.
Yeah, I did say that earlier.
No, I was just curious. Like, I mean, it's a good question because, like, I'm even thinking about like with Castlevania and Nocturne. Like, don't get me wrong, I like it, but I'm just like, oh, this is like Uncharted territory where like they're just kind of making up storyline stuff, right? Rather than adapting like a game or anything like that. They're just using.
But this, like, with Ragnarok and with Wheel of Time, and even with Heir to the Empire, because I don't know what it is. It's not what I want, but again, it could be. They could change my mind. But
who knows?
Yeah, but if you can take something and make it your own, even though you're using the things that came before to model what you have, and make it, elevate what you were given a little bit, maybe. Then that's okay. It's when you just like butcher it and like. Oh.
So do you just want like certain plot points hit, or like certain?
Well, I mean, that's the thing is there are certain things you have to like. If you don't have those certain like plot points or certain moments in books that are in the show, like those have to be there because they are triggers for certain characters or things like that. And so if you don't have that and you're doing disservice to the story, then I think that's a miss. But for what they've done here is great. Even with like, because like you've seen like what happens when you don't have, like with Game of Thrones, when you don't have a story to follow and you're just kind of making shit up on your own. Even Full Metal Alchemists, like how you diverge, and like, so it could be fine if you're doing your own thing and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not what I want, and and if you're doing a disservice to the characters and what you expect from them based off of what was originally intended, that's a miss. But here so far everybody's been essentially given, they kind of fixed some of the stuff, I think, and given these characters their moments, and honored what their stories, their priorities or what their goals are in the story. They've kind of hit on that note. Okay, so yeah, no, it's an interesting question.
All right, Tony, anything?
No, Ahsoka.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, Mike.
No, not really. I watched a single episode of SpongeBob.
Nice.
Nice.
I've never seen a whole complete episode of SpongeBob.
Actually, it was just one of the segments. You know how they are
our time.
Like 15 minutes each. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Let's quickly look at box office. Anything in the box office, really? I don't think so. Garbage.
I want to see the creator. I really do want to see that because Gareth Edwards. But I was thinking about going this past weekend, but I didn't have the chance.
Yeah. Creators on there, number 4. Exorcist, number 1, opening 26.4 million. Paw Patrol, number 2. Saw.
But I mean, the creator is like it's like a legitimate, like original IP. It's not based off of anything. It's not like it. So it's like it's so hard to make those types of movies these days.
You want to go and support it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's Gareth Edwards, so.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. That's it for your box office. Let's get into some news, guys. We talked about Castlevania was getting a second season. Let's see. There is a live action project telling a brand new story in the world of cyberpunk in development.
Mm-hmm.
That was reported last week. So, CD Projekt Red
it feels like they're kind of trying to ride the coattails of success that they're having with the anime and with the DLC hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so all this positivity. Let's keep going.
Yeah, Mike, what do you say?
I mean, also, this might be a little bit better discussed in the other podcast, but I think this is also because they have all this positivity, but they're not going to do any more expansions for the game because they're changing engines. So there's nothing new coming to the game. So
no, but I mean, I think they
want to do something to tie this over.
They've got this redemption. This was the redemption arc, and I think they told a pretty good.
They came out with the expansion 3 years after launch. I mean, more than 3 years. So I mean,
well, I mean, I know, but there's going to be nothing.
You just feel like it's less compared to.
It's fine.
It is less compared to.
I guess
that's fine, and that's the price they paid for fucking up so badly the first time. They didn't have to fucking rework the game to be presentable. They could have probably worked on another DLC. But
they basically redid the entire thing.
Yeah. Yep. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say. So this is a live action one, but also because they've been doing a lot of press and stuff for this, and also I believe the CEO or president stepped down and is being replaced. But an interview with one of the top people or something like that, they were talking about a lot of the cyberpunk collabs, and they were mentioned Studio Trigger, who did the anime and stuff like that, and people were asking them, should we expect another Edge Runners and stuff like that? And the answer wasn't exactly confirmation, but they let it off. Like, the answer was something like, Trigger has a certain way they like to market their, stuff, so we have to be respectful of that and not just announce things on our own. Which isn't exactly confirmation, but it's not no, there's nothing being worked on like that.
No, it's definitely not a no.
Yeah, it's definitely not a no. So,
and the success that they had, like you would imagine that they'd want to, cash in on that and get some more out there.
Oh, absolutely.
But obviously, Warner Bros. Didn't know anything about that because their sequel.
They got other things to worry about.
$2 billion movies.
Yeah.
So too little, too late.
Oh, I mean,
and we got that on the news too.
This is going to be a collaboration with Anonymous Content, so the producers behind The Revenant and True Detective.
Yes. So, I mean, True Detective Season 1 was great. After that, who knows?
Yeah, that was really good. All right. What else do we have here? PlayStation has a little bit of news this week in both podcasts. So Sony Pictures Core is coming out, formerly Bravia Core. So I put this on here for this is kind of a cross thing. Put this on the movie side. Coming to PS5 and PS4, it's out already, actually. It's basically giving players exclusive benefits, including early access to Sony Pictures and films. You can rent movies, buy movies early. I think right now they're running the Gran Turismo movie promotion where you can go in and get it, so that they launched that today. Seems like another just service, essentially, right? I mean, it's like, what is the other one? What's the one they own? They own that streaming service. What is that called?
Crunchyroll.
No, not Crunchyroll. It's
They own Crunchyroll, but
I know that, but there's another one.
Something.
They make like their own movies. They had like they had.
they
I
used
forget
to
what
have
it's
their
called.
own streaming thing, but they stopped that. Crackle.
Did they
or
stop
whatever,
it?
I thought.
Crackle. That's what it was called. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. They did stop that. So this is kind of like, I don't know if this is gonna have its own exclusive content, but I think they kind of did say that. So, it seems interesting that they're going this way for their entertainment side of things.
To me, this felt really oddly announced.
Yeah. It seemed very
Especially because in
mindful.
the past month we talked about the PlayStation Plus price increase, right? Which is pretty drastic across the board, with nothing tangible in return, right? It wasn't like, hey, you know, we want to do all these cool things and offer you guys more stuff, but it's going to cost more, right? They were just like, hey, fucking pay us more money, bitches. Like, you know, whatever. So I feel like maybe this, you know, tied into like, oh, you know, we'll give them like some free Sony movies and access to Sony movies for a while.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Which, you know, I guess is a you know, a
Throw us a
non-zero
bone every once
plus,
in a
right?
while.
Yeah, which is like,
Yeah.
if you want to watch Sony stuff, you can do so as long as you subscribe to PlayStation Plus or something. And I think they mentioned that in the article or something.
Yep.
Not 100%, but
If you subscribe to PlayStation Plus, you get like access to hundreds of like free content with it. So they're throwing it in as like you said, throwing a bone in there.
yeah. Benevolent Sony. Good on them.
Give them something. Give
Very
them something.
generous. Yeah.
All right. Other news, I've got Seinfeld reunion teased by Jerry Seinfeld. Anybody excited?
No.
Slightly.
Yeah.
It's a time. I mean,
Mildly.
Frasier's back, right?
I'm not
Frasier's back with none of
the
the fun
things that made it
people
Frasier.
from
Well,
the
Frasier.
first
Yeah.
series.
Kelsey Grammer's back,
Just-
but that's about
yeah,
it.
Yeah, you can say that.
But his brother's not
that
back,
show
right? And
is-
obviously his dad, the guy that played his father, passed away. I think so. He's not able to come back. But
Yeah. I watched Frasier a bit back in the day. Mom liked it more than I did though, but I liked
Yeah.
it enough. But yeah, the main thrust of that was you know,
the dynamic,
his brother
the dynamic
and
for his
the-
brother, right? Yeah.
the dynamic with what's her name?
Yeah.
The
forget who it
housekeeper,
was.
not she's
Yeah.
not a housekeeper. She was the person who helped the grandfather. But anyway, so I don't know, Seinfeld. We've had sort of half like reunions already, like in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like that was like 15 years ago already now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else they would do that would be
He
more
said
of a reunion.
it's weird that he
done
teased it.
before.
He teased it during like a stand-up thing. But he was talking about it that Larry David and him have ideas, and they should have something very fun soon.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Either way.
all right. I think I'm interested to see what they do with that because the finale was obviously so
I
good.
am. I'm a big fan of Seinfeld. I like Seinfeld more than Frasier. I would say that.
I mean,
I
I bet
enjoyed a
like,
lot of
you're more excited for the Slayers thing, I would think, on Audible. That's coming out this week.
No, I read a
Review.
synopsis, and I'm like, missing my
So much.
my guy. So I'm not gonna.
Oh, David,
get into it.
What's his name? Boreanaz?
Yes.
Mike's man crush.
Angel. I
It's
mean,
all right. You can have a man crush. It's
Okay.
fine.
He's the most interesting character in that
He is.
universe. to
Yeah.
me.
Like yeah. I mean, I actually really enjoyed his Comic-Con panel like it was a couple of years ago. I went to see that. That was actually really
I'm
good.
just
panel.
interested in this just because it's the same people that did We're Alive, and that podcast was really.
But it's
quite
cool, and I
impressive.
actually do find it interesting that they have a lot of the original actors
Rhythm
coming back.
Carpenter's back.
Yeah,
Voices
they
herself.
resurrecting her with some multiverse nonsense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get. I mean, maybe I'll give it a listen. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Let's close on the fun dumpster fire news. I guess is the best way to describe it. Sorry, I'm trying to think of a way to describe the Aquaman 2 drama that's unfolding. That's being reported. DC's come out and say these are not true.
Funny.
This is
It's like
a
we
wide
kinda heard about
Elon
this, though,
appears.
when it-
Like
well,
what the fuck?
We've
'cause
heard about a lot of this stuff
A
before.
lot of it we've heard about. The Jason Momoa allegedly being drunk on set is new.
Well,
and
him
that's
trying to
been
get
denied.
Amber Heard fired, like that's old news. Like, that,
Mm.
I feel like
Yeah, so that was that was reported a long time ago, and now we know why. Apparently, that was not the case because Elon Musk stepped in and apparently threatened Warner Brothers to burn the company down to the ground. Which, what's left to burn down? But
I mean, he'd have to buy them first and then burn it down.
Yeah,
he can just sit back and watch at this point.
Maybe he was responsible for the Max name change too, secretly. Behind the scenes.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, I mean, they've cut so many of her scenes already, but we were always wondering why she didn't just get cut out of the movie entirely, right? I mean, that's why. I don't know, but there's been so much drama with this movie. I mean,
should have just done the Flashpoint thing and had Gal Gadot kill her, just behead her, get rid of her.
Yeah, that'd have been fine. So I don't know. What are you expecting from this movie at this point, really?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to expect.
Does this change anything for any of us? Really?
The other thing that was talked about.
I'm more curious to see if this opens over like 18 million.
18 million?
I can't imagine anyone going to see this movie at this point.
I don't even know
like why.
I think it's going to open higher than 18. I mean, the first one still did over $1 billion.
I know, but
no, I mean, I think it gets into the 20,
several reasons why
25 to 30s at least.
I thought 40. I thought 40 actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying at least, but like it depends. Like I don't even
like I'm picturing like 20 something. Honestly, like 18 would be my lower.
You guys are lowballing the shit out. I'm not even a DC fan, but this is opening up like what, Christmas week?
You think it's gonna do like? You think it's gonna do like 50, 60 million? You think it's gonna do even more than that?
Yeah, it's fucking. I don't think so. It's holiday break,
Absolutely
dude.
not.
People got nothing else to do.
Yeah, that's what I say. It depends on when it's coming out.
I don't think so.
Right? Isn't it coming out?
Adjust it.
Let me see.
It is.
I don't see why this would do better than Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle has a future at least.
Because it's got
Blue Beetle is a new fucking property that nobody gives a shit about. Aquaman is a sequel to $1 billion movie. What do you mean you don't see a difference?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's the sequel to big movies at this point in this universe.
You don't see. I'm not even gonna argue with this, Mike. It's absurd. December 20th.
What did the Flash do, Jim?
58.
Open at like 58 or so.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll probably be in around that.
It can't do worse than Flash.
It could do in that. It can
do worse than Flash.
It can do worse than Flash.
It certainly will.
I think it can, but I think it's gonna be around the Flash.
Yeah.
What did Shazam do?
Nothing.
Ugh. Yeah. What was that, like 30 something?
It's gotta be Shazam.
It will do that. Yeah. I mean, that's why I said like. I mean, in the 40 to 60 range is fine. That's a $20 million range I gave you, but that's
if it's coming out on the holiday weekend, then I think it can do better than Flash. But there's just so much drama with it, and then I think it just came out recently too that none of these
Shazam did 30 million. It cannot do worse than Shazam.
Yeah,
Fury
it's got to
be. That is the absolute floor.
It will not. I think 40 million is the floor. But I think I could see it in the 50s. I don't think it'll be over. I don't think it'll be over 60 personally. And I understand what you're saying, Tony, but I just don't see it happening. But I just don't.
I mean, it's not good. No matter what, it's not good. But fucking 18 million. 18 million. That's indie project shit.
Yeah.
What did the creator do?
The creator? Let me see.
I just had it opening. I have it opening. The creator did 25 gross right now. So what did it do in opening weekend? It did 6 million. So that's quick math. 17 million.
Oh. So you're talking about a movie that nobody's ever heard of properly. No one has ever heard of ever, by a director who's more of an indie guy, I would imagine.
Actually, did 14 million.
Yeah.
40 million. So
there's no way it's going to be in that range, but it's not making his money back, and we know that Momoa probably wants to do Lobo at this point.
Yeah, it's confirmed in the article again. They're talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, well, like you said, they're not doing none of these actors are going to prize their roles.
And they also talked about it in the article. Absolutely,
right. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody else.
Yeah. So that's why that's
Cineverse. That's
on arrival.
John Cena.
Well, no, you got you got Blue Beetle, you got John Cena, and you got what was the third
Amanda
person?
Waller.
Waller, right?
Those are the only people.
Yeah.
Yep. That's good. Oh well, anybody in the what's Peacemaker universe, I think is safe. It seems because what's his Vigilante's coming back.
Yeah, he's a big character. He's supposed to be pretty prominent coming out. He's gonna be around for a while.
And Waller was in Peacemaker, so
Yeah, she was. So great show. That's why I think you have a good established, like really fun characters. So I was hoping to bring back a lot of them. So all right, and that's pretty much it for the movie news. The strike is still going, so we'll see if that ends for the actors. Hopefully, I thought it'd be done by this week, but apparently not.
Oh, we got Comic-Con this weekend, and so
Yeah, I'll be
they
there
were like,
on Sunday.
"Oh, look at that! Go, Jim!"
So yeah, going on Sunday. I don't even know what time. What's
a little
does it even
anniversary present?
Yeah,
there?
it's my anniversary present. Yeah, my wife got it for me. We're going Sunday morning. I don't even remember what time Comic Con opens on Sunday. I have to look this up.
Probably
So
10.
I think I'm thinking 10, but it's exciting to go again. I'm really psyched to go, even though it's on. It's either Thursday or Sunday was the option, so it's like Sunday's easier. But plus it's
pretty
so
nice. They got some pretty nice. What's Chainsaw Man fig pins?
Oh yeah,
Comic-Con this year.
Cool. So yeah, so that's gonna wrap up this episode. I'll talk some Comic-Con next week though, so stay tuned for that. We'll hope to see you guys. We're coming on the Gamecast next, so stay tuned. Once again, we're live on Twitch Tuesday nights. Please join us live. If you missed that, watch these shows on YouTube. Subscribe. We appreciate it, guys. We'll see you on the Gamecast.